at a control board. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get things started with the first bout of the evening, scheduled for 10 rounds. This is in the bantamweight division. The referee for this first bout is Steve Smoger. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with red trim. He weighs 118 3/4 pounds, from Mexico City, Mexico. His professional record, 17 victories with 12 KOs, 8 defeats and 1 draw. Let's welcome Jose Vegagil. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the purple trunks with gray trim. He weighs an even 120 pounds, from Brooklyn, New York. Undefeated as a professional, 16-0, 11 KOs, ranked number 10 in the world by the WBA. Ladies and gentlemen, Poison Junior Jones.
And Ray, let's take a look at those New Jersey rules.
Well, the 3 knockdown rule will be in effect. Standing 8 count. The doctor can stop the fight. They score on 10-point must system. 3 judges will score the fight, and a fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round.
So we continue from in here off that 10-round majority decision win over Juan Carrazzo, in which he had his difficult moments. And the first time a boxer goes 10 rounds, Ray, never an easy task.
Well, I think it's more psychological than anything, Al, because when I first made my 10-rounder debut, I thought about it the whole time. Throughout the fight, I thought about going 10 rounds. But once you get past 6, 7 rounds, you're okay.
Was Dick Eklund your first 10-rounder? He wasn't your first, was he? Because he's here with his brother, Mickey Ward. He'll be in the corner. You boxed him, of course.
I believe my first 10-round was Rafael Rodriguez, I believe.
Yeah, okay. That's right.
In Baltimore.
Round 1, it is in the blue, Junior Jones, a young man, a 20-year-old, who is undefeated, as we mentioned, and has impressed virtually everyone here with his punching power and his ability to improve each time out.
Well, he has impressed me tremendously because I've watched him a number of times on ESPN, and he's the type of young man that uses height and reach advantage to his fullest. Keeps that left jab out there, and you see, against Jose Vegagil, he's able to dominate, just take control of this young man.
Vegagil is a 25-year-old. He's the California state champion. His first trip boxing in here on the East Coast in Atlantic City. And he said to us today through an interpreter, it doesn't matter. It's still a ring. It's just me and the other guy. Good right by Jones. Jones has that tall frame, and you were saying how he looks like a miniature Tommy Hearns, the small legs and the very big upper body.
He really does, Al. In fact, that I was impressed with the way he's able to gain leverage behind each punch. He puts his entire body behind his punches. He's a very deceptive fighter to being so rangy and thin.
Minute left to go in round 1. This one is scheduled for 10. They are bantamweights. And so far, here in this first round, Junior Jones has had things pretty much his own way. Vegagil on the end of those Jones punches where he doesn't want to be, and he's getting nailed.
Jones has to be careful because inside, especially tonight, he has a tendency to lay there too late, stay there too long.
And Vegagil told us he wants to get inside and work the body if at all possible. See if he can do that as this bout wears on. Well, so round 1, a good one for Junior Jones, as they all seem to be, even in the bouts in which he doesn't get knockouts. He always starts quick, but we'll have to see if he can sustain this over the course of the 10 rounds. Jones in the blue, and Jose Vegagil in the white. Look at the jabs. Oh, man. I guess Junior Jones landed some jabs, didn't he? 50%.
Very accurate.
Just about 50%. Vegagil, although doesn't figure to land too many jabs, he wants to get inside. Probably using the jab just as a pawing punch to get in. There's a jab by Jose.
Well, that's something that you'll notice with the shorter man. His jab can break the jab of the taller opponent. Stick it in there, the way Mike Tyson does. And work his way in, use upper body movement, and each opportunity gets inside, work the body, and bring the hands down the taller opponent.
There is Jones landing yet another right hand a moment ago. as Vegagil continues to press the action, but Jones boxing extremely well and landing the better punches. Although in this round, just as you spoke of it, Vegagil, he really is starting to get that jab in a little bit better.
The problem that Vegagil is making now, he's starting to follow his man as opposed to cutting the ring off. He should be stepping to his right or stepping to his left and shorten the ring up.
And this is a very big ring here at the Marquettas Arena. Jones missing with that hook and then landing. Against Carrazzo, the infighting of Jones was a little bit of a problem, and they've probably worked on that. And he looks a little better in that inside fighting. More than halfway through the second round, scheduled for 10. They're bantamweights. Good hook again by Jones.
Jones appears to be telegraphing his punches. In other words, he's showing his man what he's about to throw. So he appears to be a little sluggish here. He's not getting off clean punches.
Left hook misses to the body for Jones, but he follows with the left hand. Remaining busy and using that jab as a rangefinder, though I have a feeling that his percentage of jabs landed will be a little bit less in this round.
A little blood coming from the mouth of Jones, which indicates that this is a pretty stiff jab of Vegagil.
And in this second round, Jose has really gotten that jab in. Vegagil getting inside, but not able to really work the body. We wind down here in the second round. So in round two, when he's at long range, Junior Jones continues to pound away, but some signs of encouragement for Jose Vegagil. At least the jab got in once in a while. We'll see if he can improve on that in round three.
Sets him up with the right hand, but again, he doesn't come back with the left hook.
We head into round three, and Junior Jones, the man of whom Ray Leonard was speaking, the 20-year-old who is a jab sends him down, and will that be a knockdown? No, Steve Smoger says it was a slip. You could almost make a case for that being a knockdown, even though it didn't hurt Vegagil.
That was debatable because he did go down. In fact, he was off balance, but the jab pretty much helped out.
It's interesting. That's a real judgment call. And for Steve Smoger, one of the very fine referees here in Atlantic City, or anywhere for that matter. You mentioned, good hook by Jones several times, Ray, him not finishing with the left hook in those combinations. Will they look at these tapes, and do you think that's something that he'll go back and work on in the gym?
I'm sure they will, because a lot of times fighters have a tendency to land that one big punch, and they want to look at and see what the work they've done. And I think with Jones, if he should come back with his left hook, because his right hand is very accurate, he'll find that he's much more effective.
And that may be the difference against the really good boxers in him getting knockouts and not getting those knockouts.
That is true, Al.
We're in round three. It's scheduled for 10. Jose Vegagil in the white trunks, who comes to this bout via Mexico, although ironically he is the California state champion. He beat George Garcia in August of last year in a 12-round bout to win that title. They're bantamweights.
With most Mexican fighters, they have a pretty good chin, so a lot of them can't take body shots. I've noticed that.
So Jones might do well to go downstairs here.
Oh, start bringing up some uppercuts, because I also believe the little upper body movement that Vegagil is using is starting to throw Jones off a little bit.
Jones did come through with the left hand as a third punch in that combination, but just missed. Right hand that misses for Jones, and there's Vegagil now finally starting to get his game plan on track, which is to go to the body and hopefully get inside. And there's a double left hook. One landed, one didn't. Half a minute left to go in round three. Junior Jones has shown in a couple of his bouts, principally the 10-round match against Carrazzo and also a 6-rounder against Felix Marti, that early advantage he often has sometimes dissipates in the middle rounds, and we might be seeing signs, even though he probably won round three, that might be happening. Good right hand by Junior Jones. And so round three comes to a close, or watches it as it happened. Heading into round 4, Al Bernstein along with Sugar Ray Leonard here at the Taj Mahal, the Marquettas Arena, where bantamweights Junior Jones in the blue trunks, undefeated young boxer, 16-0, takes on Jose Vegagil, who is 17-8-1. And here's our total punches. Whoa, mama, that's a big margin.
And Jones, as usual, throws a great deal of punches, land close to 50% of his blows.
That is quite a percentage and quite a number thrown by Jones. Jones with the jab, and that punches continued to be there for him during this bout.
Jones leaves that jab out just a little too long for me. And if Vegagil had the talent, he can counter that.
And there is your card, which shows you've got it a shutout.
Well, Jones has been in complete control. He's doing what he wants to do. He's out jamming his man. He's throwing combinations. But again, he continues to drop that left hand. And you see there's a little blood coming from the nose of Jones, which indicates again, I must say this, the left jab of Vegagil. It gets through and it's a little sting to it.
Yeah, he has landed that jab more in the last couple of rounds. Jones continues to nail him with some good shots from the outside. Of course, that's where he wants to be, using his height and reach advantage. I want to congratulate Jay Edson as a coordinator for Top Rank Boxing, who will be given an award by the Boxing Writers Association for meritorious service in June, and we're going to have more on that during Ringside Report. But Jay, a deserving recipient of that award.
Jay's a good man.
He really is, and keeps things in order at these boxing matches. And right now, things are in order for Junior Jones. He is wailing away and hitting Vegagil with some big shots.
Look what's happening. He's rocking his man, but as he throws his punches, he's right there himself.
Wide open, and that has been something that's happened to Jones before, too. Now, is this a good idea? He thinks he can get Vegagil out, but will he get nailed with something?
He's punched a great deal. He's a little arm weary now. He's not throwing the punches now, and this is when Vegagil should come on strong.
And Vegagil just landed a short right hand. Can Vegagil do that, considering the fact that he was rocked? We'll see. Well, Jones went for it. He thought he had a shot at ending this bout. Tried to, and has certainly made this a very big round for himself. But as Ray said, in the process, also got hit with some shots. So round 4 winds to a conclusion. It was a big round for Junior Jones, but one in which Vegagil stood up to the best that he could offer. He will take out of Jones here.
I think it took just as much out of Jones as it took out of Vegagil.
Even though Vegagil was the one taking the punishment.
Because you notice Jones had to take a breather for a while. A little arm wear throwing all those combinations.
And in the 4th round, you see how well Jones landed. 55%, excellent. And so many of those are power shots, although 67% of Jones's punches in this bout are jabs, so he is using that punch very effectively. And there you see just why. Throws out 5 or 6 of them. You know, I don't know, Ray, I feel like Vegagil is about 6 inches away from making this a much better fight. Sometimes he gets 2 or 3 jabs in, but doesn't take that step in where he can get in and work the body.
Once he gets in now, he throws 1 or 2 shots, and that's his problem. He needs to work a little bit harder, be a little more aggressive, a little more tenacious. Once he gets an opportunity to get inside, he doesn't do any damage.
Heading toward the midway point in this bout, and it might be worth mentioning right now that Jones has gone 10 rounds once in his life. His last bout, which ended up being a majority decision over Juan Carrazzo, while Vegagil has been 10 rounds on 3 occasions and has even gone 12 rounds. And there's some body work, but a little bit low by Vegagil. Still a little blood coming from the nose of Junior Jones. Nothing that would be really too difficult for him to deal with, but as Ray said, a good indication that that jab of Vegagil is getting there from time to time.
This kind of fight can only help Jones, because if he's so used to knocking guys out, being extended will help him down the road once he starts hitting that championship material.
He told us that the fight against Carrazzo taught him a lot. And he also said this morning that he wanted a quicker ending of this bout. He wanted to get Carrazzo out of there. Or, excuse me, to get Vegagil out of there. But right by Jones. Again, the right hand gets there by Junior Jones, but he has shown no signs of being able to hurt Vegagil to the point where he looks like he's going to go down, even though there was a flash knockdown that actually ended up being called a slip. Half a minute left to go in round 5. We approach the midway point in this 10-rounder. Still upcoming, remember, our main event, Tony Martin against Mickey Ward, a couple of junior welterweights.
When Jones throws his left hook, it's still being telegraphed.
So round 5 goes into the night, and for Junior Jones, another pretty good one.
And where is the left hook? Where is the left hook?
Good right, and the interesting thing is he's not really looking for that punch after the right. So that'll be something that they will go take the tapes and listen to you say that and probably try and fix it up. They probably will think you have some credibility in this area, won't they?
I think so.
Bantamweights, 10 rounds. Top Rank Boxing. I'm Al Bernstein along with Sugar Ray Leonard. Barry Tompkins is in Las Vegas doing seniors golf. More sedate sport than this. And it's a lot of fun, that tour. And Barry will be back next week. Jones, and he's fighting on the inside now with him, which could be a little bit dangerous. He's leaning in, looking to load up. We'll see if he can take advantage of that, Vegagil.
I'll be curious to see whether or not Vegagil's style has bothered Jones, because he's not getting the punches off he's gotten off in his previous fights. And again, there's blood coming from the nose and mouth of Jones.
Well, at the age of 20, Junior is obviously very polished for that. Oh, good right hand, yes.
Good right hand.
And there goes Vegagil. That is no flash knockdown. That counts. He's claiming it was a slip, but he was hit with the right hand.
Well, we should see a very aggressive Junior Jones right now, because that was a good, clean right hand.
And let's see if he's an overly aggressive Junior Jones. Ripping body shots, staying on the inside. Can't Vegagil do anything with that?
That's the key, Al, going to the body when you hurt the man. Work that body and double up to the head.
But Vegagil's ripping those left hooks and just knocks the mouthpiece of Jones out with a right hand. So Jose Vegagil maybe not as hurt by that knockdown as we might suspect, and he's landed. So is Jones.
Jones right now throwing arm punches, a little arm weary again after his assault.
And there's a minute left to go here in round 6.
It's a lot of time left here. This is, again, Vegagil should be on top of his man.
The hook lands for Vegagil. Jones fighting without a mouthpiece and boxing on the inside where Vegagil probably wants him. And there's a jab landing by Jose Vegagil.
Time, Junior, corner. Time, Lindsay.
They will now put the mouthpiece back in, which they do here in New Jersey, when there is a break in the action. The referee, it's up to him to, at his discretion, to pick a time when he feels like he's not giving an advantage to one boxer or the other, and they'll put the mouthpiece in. I like this rule. Do you like it?
Yes, I do. I lost a tooth that way.
That's right, you did, didn't you? For sure you like this rule then. That was in the Norris fight, I believe, wasn't
Yes, it was.
Not to bring up sad memories for you or unhappy ones.
Let him out, June. Let him out.
I hear Vegagil needs to keep going.
Well, he had his moments here and couldn't really capitalize on them, even though, of course, he was down here in the 6th round.
Again, I can't say enough. This is a very good fight for Jones. It teaches him more patience, too.
Well, he has hurt Vegagil. He's had him down, but has been unable to close the show. An excellent right again by Jones. And they wail away, both landing left hooks at the bell here in round 6. The round in which this man went down would likely end up being a 2-point round for Jones, but Vegagil had his moments.
Mira, cuando estés cambiando golpes, nomás cabecea y engánchalo, no estés parado.
And there is the right hand that put him down. And it came kind of on the back of the ear here. Well, you know what? Boy, you look at it now. The other one we thought was a knockdown. I'm not sure about this one.
we see the right hand. We thought it was clean, but the right hand actually brushed him in the back of the head, which put him down.
Boy, and there you go. There's a classic example of how when you look at the slow motion, you can become an expert. The first one, Steve Smoger did not call a knockdown, and truthfully, I thought it was when we looked at the slow-mo. This one he did, and now you look at the slow-mo, it doesn't look like it. Jones has landed 70% of his power shots in round 6. So he was on target. And even though we question whether that ended up being appropriately a knockdown, there were lots of punches landed by Jones that did hurt Vegagil in that last round.
Just a second ago, we saw Jones drop his hands, try to, good right hand by Vegagil, trying to get some more energy back in those arms, some more life, rather.
So here in round 7, the action really is heated up. It did in the 6th round, a round in which Vegagil was had a knockdown scored against him, but had his moments against Junior Jones. Jones, the 20-year-old undefeated fighter in the blue. Vegagil, 25 years old in the white trunks.
Off his neck, June. Off
Jones
his neck.
starting to really reach in now.
Good.
And leaning in, Ray, with his head, which kind of negates that height and reach advantage.
It really does, because his chin is so exposed by reaching in like that.
And, you know, he told us today, Junior Jones did, boy, he made no bones about who he wanted to fight next. He wants Eddie Cook. Yeah, for the USBA bantamweight title. That would be a war.
Well, he has to get Vegagil out of there first.
That's true. Better not look too far ahead. Side headlock.
A little punch behind the back.
And Steve Smoger admonishes him for that. A minute left to go in round 7. Now, I wonder if Punch Profile counts that punch he landed behind his back. That's a question. They tell me if it lands anywhere, they count it. Good right hand by Jones. Under a minute left to go in the 7th.
For a young fighter like Jones, and throwing so many punches, landing so many beautiful shots, he has to question himself, say, what is holding this man up?
And this is very similar to the Carrazzo bout, in which he had to go 10. He had hit Carrazzo with some big punches, although certainly Carrazzo was much more in the bout than Vegagil is. Jose keeps coming forward. He's trying, but he hasn't really been able to land as effectively as he'd like. And there you see him. Actually now, Ray, Vegagil seems to be more interested in cutting off the ring. He's not as effective as he should be, but at least he's trying.
But once he cut off, he needs to do something.
So in round 7, Junior Jones continues the assault, and we'll see now if any fatigue sets in. And the right hand of Junior Jones, he's made a home for that.
Well, Jones now starting to throw left hook, but is falling a lot short now. Mainly because he's not as fresh as he was in earlier rounds.
Some of the technique going away from those punches. Take a look at the 7th round, a pretty big edge there, huh?
And that's another reason why Jones is falling short. I mean, he's throwing a lot of shots in the 4th round, especially was a big round for him, and the 6th round when he had Vegagil in a little trouble.
And so Junior Jones so far showing no real signs that he would be fading in this bout. He said he learned he could go 10 against Carrazzo, and he's doing it well here tonight.
That was the first uppercut I've seen thrown by Jones.
And in fact, Jones is throwing 94 punches per round, Ray, and Vegagil is throwing 56, so that is an indication of what you're talking about.
Let him go, Junior. Let him go. That's it.
Both fighters are in tremendous shape because Vegagil has absorbed a great deal of punishment, where Jones has thrown a great deal of shots. So both men are in great condition.
Yeah, they really are, and Vegagil has shown a terrific chin. Been hit with some major league shots by Jones. You know, Junior was an outstanding amateur. Had over 160 bouts as an amateur, two-time New York Golden Gloves champion, won the national PAL titles, reached the 1988 Olympic trial semis. So he has all that good amateur background behind him, and Joe Ferriello has taught him well as a pro also. Vegagil came in here off a good win over Concepcion Velasquez in Mexico City. Pretty good boxer. But it has not worked out so well for him tonight. And there's why. Good combinations. Now those combinations he finished off even though they weren't powerful punches.
Well, the sting of Jones' punches is not really there now. And actually, he's not really throwing straight shots. He's starting to hit with the inside of the glove, if you notice his right hand.
And that right, yeah, the right he just threw is a perfect example of it. And starting to miss a little bit more, Junior Jones. So here in the 8th, some oh-so-subtle signs of fatigue, but can Jose Vegagil take advantage of them? That's the question. This is scheduled for 10, and it is showing signs that it may go that long as we conclude round 8. And it's punctuated by a great combination by Jones.
Vegagil still standing.
Boy, and he has taken some big shots from Junior Jones. We head into round 9. Al Bernstein along with Sugar Ray Leonard here at the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City, where Junior Jones in the blue trunks has been pretty much dominating Jose Vegagil. And there is the evidence of that. 50%, Ray, excellent percentage for Jones.
Well, his punches have been quite accurate. I mean, there are moments where that he starts to telegraph his punches, and Vegagil was not able to take advantage of it. And all of a sudden, the second win comes to Jones, and Jones throws a number of combinations.
You play devil's advocate here. Eddie Cook and Junior Jones. Eddie Cook, the smaller boxer, but more firepower and more aggressive than Jose Vegagil. How does he do against Junior Jones?
It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a test of will, conditioning, and all the other factors.
Certainly a nice style matchup. First, though, as you point out, Jose Vegagil has to be beaten, and so far, Junior Jones is doing that. And here in the 9th round, still showing pretty good boxing skills and giving him some movement around the ring.
Well, Jones has been able to get away with dropping his hands and moving around, and against Cook, he has to be a lot more cautious.
A quick personal note that Daryl Elmore, who's a valued member of the ESPN team, who's worked on our boxing shows and is back in Bristol, Connecticut. His mom died, and we want to send our condolences for all the people in the boxing crew out to him.
Most guys that Jones, the punches that Jones has landed on Vegagil wouldn't be standing right now. I think you have to give a lot of credit to Vegagil, his durability.
He has landed some major shots, and Junior Jones hits with power. There's no question about that. He has 12 knockout victims, or excuse me, 11 knockout victims that attest to that out of his 16 wins. The hook is blocked by Vegagil. So Jose's first trip here to Atlantic City is not a pleasant one. And people have been known to lose when they come here, haven't they? Under a half-minute left to go in round 9. One more to go in this bantamweight encounter, which to many people's surprise looks like it may go the distance.
And I must say, I think it's good for Jones to show him he can knock everyone out.
Your basic learning experience, and in this case, the learning has been fun for Junior Jones. We'll see what happens in the 10th when we return. For the 10th and final round against Jose Vegagil. It's been a match which, by and large, Jones in the purple trunks has dominated. And barring a miracle here, Ray, looks like he's on his way to an easy decision win.
Well, he's fought his fight, and he's in there with a tough hombre in Vegagil, a very durable guy. Guy was able to come back, but not do any damage. With Jones, Jones is very conditioned because it was been a hard-fought 9 rounds, up to 10 rounds.
And a reminder, our main event upcoming, Tony Martin and Mickey Ward. A couple of junior welterweights. Mickey Ward in desperate need of a win. It's really to keep his career going, and Tony Martin looking like a contender, but he can't afford to stub his toe. Jones using the jab again. It's been a staple for him throughout this bout. This young 20-year-old has really performed well. And but for that dreaded left hook not coming after those combinations, looked pretty good.
Jones wants a knockout. He indicated to me this morning he wants a knockout. And appears to be going for it.
Well, he's had Vegagil in some trouble on a couple of occasions. Did have him down once, although really when you look at the knockdown in slow motion, it doesn't look like a knockdown. But he has had Vegagil in a little trouble, but not been able to keep him down. Halfway through the 10th and final round. Jones working the body there. And again, look at those good straight right hands landing, and they just don't seem to have a huge effect on Vegagil.
The 9th round, Jones walked back to his corner and just shook his head out.
How was he standing?
No punch.
It's got to be somewhat frustrating, but probably rewarding, would you think, to Jones to know that he's still punching this hard in the 10th round? He looks fresher in this 10th round than he did against Juan Carrazzo.
Well, he's fighting a tough guy here in Vegagil, and he's landed every conceivable punch. But Vegagil, still the warrior, still kept coming.
He feigned being hurt there, Jones, and trying to lure Vegagil in, but Jose wasn't buying it, or Jose didn't have the energy to come in, one or the other.
I think it's both.
Half a minute left to go in this bout. Vegagil had some moments in the middle rounds, especially the 7th, with the 6th round, and 7th also, when things really heated up. But beyond that, he has never really had a chance to land his shot. And Ray never really got inside as he said he would.
Well, he was not aggressive enough. In fact, he was fighting a much better fighter than Junior Jones.
Time to go.
And that will probably be borne out by the scorecards as this one goes into the books, a 10-rounder, which will probably end up being a 10-round.
Now I come here to a town called Canastota, where a group of men have finally given boxing a Hall of Fame.